Yeah, hi there. In this tutorial, we are going to cover exploratory data analysis in Python. So exploratory data analysis, popularly known as EDA, it's an approach to analyze the data sets to understand their main characteristics, often with the help of visualization methods like creating charts, graphs. So it is a critical process of performing initial investigations on data so as to discover the pattern, to spot any anomalies, to test hypotheses, and to check assumptions with the help of summary statistics and graphical representations. In summary, EDA is an approach to gauge every nuance from the data at an early encounter. So to begin with, I'm trying to do exploratory data analysis in this tutorial on this iris dataset. So first I am importing the libraries NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, .pyplot, and Seaborn. So iris dataset, it's a flower, and the dataset that we are using contains three types of iris flowers. One is setosa. This is a picture of setosa. Other is the versicolor. This is a picture of versicolor. And other is the virginica. So the idea is uh, uh, using the features, we want to classify whether a given iris flower belongs to setosa or versicolor or virginica. So what are the features? The features are related to basically sepal and petal. So this is the sepal, the bigger leaf, the smaller one is the petal. So using the two features of sepal, like sepal length and sepal width, and similarly for petal length and petal width, I want to classify whether a given iris flower belongs to setosa or versicolor or virginica. So that's the overall purpose. So for this, we are doing exploratory data analysis to help us understand, okay, how these features are related with each other, which are the important features which can help in doing this classification of the iris flowers among the three species. Okay, so I'm starting with loading the dataset. The dataset I have is in iris.csv. I'm loading it in iris data frame. Once it is done, I want to check the number of data points using iris.shape. So it is 155. It means there are 150 rows and five columns. These columns are, we can see using iris dot columns. These are sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. And the last one is species. So these first four columns that we see, these are also called as the features or the variables or the input variables or independent variables. And the last one we see is species. It is called as label or dependent variable or output variable or class variable or response variable. Basically, the idea is based on these first four features or the columns or the input data, uh, we want to classify the species of the iris flower. So we can say these first four are independent variables, and this is the dependent variable species, which so the value that it will have, it depends on what values are present in first four. Okay, let's have first few records of this iris dataset. This is how it looks like. This is a sepal length, width, petal length, and petal width, and this is the species which is labeled. Now we want to first see whether this data set is a balanced data set or not. So basically we want to see what are the data points present for the different types of species. So if I just group by this iris data set on the basis of a species and find out the size, I see 50 each for the species. Another approach is I can just say iris dot species, and using value underscore counts function, I can find out the number of data points for each of the species, which is 50 each. That is fine. Now I'm just creating three data frames also. Basically each of these data frames belong to the specific type of species. So one is iris setosa. This contains all the records belonging to setosa. Similarly for iris virginica and iris versicolor. So this is what we have now. Now our first plot, which I am going to do one dimensional kind of a scatter plot. So basically in this scatter plot I am plotting only one variable, which is petal length. So on the x-axis I am plotting the petal length and keeping y-axis as 0 for all the data points. So basically all the points will be aligned on the x-axis based on the value of the petal length. So let me just quickly first set the style as a white grid. And if I just go through one line of this code which says just plot petal length of setosa, and this is this on the x-axis, and on the y-axis it is np dot zeros. So that is I want all the points on the x-axis only. Nothing should go on the y-axis. And this 0 indicates that it should be a dot, I mean circles, and label should be setosa. So this blue color you see setosa. Similarly, next one is for the, this is for virginica, which comes from here to here, this orange point, and the green one is the versicolor. So we can clearly see that based on the petal length, uh, setosa species is clearly different uh, based on the other two species. For virginica and for versicolor, there is a separation, but still there is some sort of overlap. How much overlap is there, that we cannot tell from this graph, because the points, if they are overlapped, we do not know how much there has been overlap. Okay, so let's continuing further. So these are our observations. Setosa is clearly separable based on the petal length. You can clearly see the data points of Setosa here. Versica and Virginica and versicolor are overlapping. If we can see from here, there must be some overlap, and how much is the overlap, that we cannot say. So this is what I have mentioned as a third point. So it's difficult to interpret how much is the overlap. Now let's go to our next plot, where I want to plot, let's say, between two features like sepal length and sepal width. So this is again a scatter plot, and so on the x-axis it's a sepal length, y-axis is a sepal width, and I want to plot the points and color it based on the species. So if you see between, if I plot based on the sepal length and width, again the blue points are, yes, they are separable, but there is a lot of overlap between these green and the orange dots. So it means using these two features, sepal length and sepal width, it is still not possible to segregate all the three types of species. Yes, we can segregate setosa, but definitely not versicolor and virginica, because there is a lot of overlap. So let's continue further. So this is, let's quickly check how we created a scatter plot. So we are using scatter plot. X-axis sepal length, y-axis sepal width, hue is the species, and data is iris. And rest of things I have set like legend and title, X label and Y label. So continuing further, okay, now what I've created is a pair plot. So pair plot basically creates between each pair of variables, it creates a plot. So I'm using style as white grid, and then sns.pair plot. So data is from the iris, and the hue is the species, that is the color, the data points based on the species. So I'm using three markers. One is for circles, one is for square, and D is for diamond. And if you see, I'm specifying the this particular what we are seeing, the KDE's graphs. They are actually colored using the blue, edge colors as the blue, and line width equals to 1. Okay, okay. So in the pair plot, what we see between each pair of variables. So if you see, uh, we have variables on this y-axis. Similarly, variables are present on the x-axis, and between each pair of variable, we will see the scatter plot, as well as for that particular variable, we will see the distribution of the data. For example, let me pick from the bottom to up. So we have petal width, and then we can see its relationship with sepal length, as in this one. So between petal width and sepal length, yeah, again this blue dots which represents setosa, it's clearly separable, but there is an overlap here between square and the green diamonds. It means between square represents versicolor and the green diamond represents virginica. So that is okay, but still not the best separation. Between petal width and sepal width, there is some overlap, and rest of the data points are separable. And similarly, between petal width and petal length, if you see, blue is definitely distinguished setosa, and if you see this versicolor and virginica, they are also separable. There is a very little overlap, but otherwise, if you can say, it's a, there is a lot of uh, distinct data points are there for the combination of petal width and petal length. Now this, what we see is the distribution of petal width. If you see, this setosa is totally different, but whereas there is the overlap between these two distributions, which represents versicolor and virginica. Similarly, we can see for other pair of variables, and based on this, we can identify which pair of variables provide the best method to separate the three species of iris. What we can make it out from these distributions is whether this given that particular feature, let's say sepal length, can we distinguish the three species? It is no, because there is a lot of overlap, so sepal length is not that good. Sepal width, again, there is a lot of overlap, so sepal width is also not a good feature to separate. But if you see petal length, we can see setosa is totally separate. Some overlap between versicolor and virginica, and for petal width, setosa is totally separate, and some overlap between these two. So what we can clearly see based on the pair plot that petal length and petal width combination is the one that provides a good means to separate these three species of iris flowers. So this is what I have mentioned here. Setosa species are distinguishable in all the charts. Versicolor and virginica have mostly overlap. Petal length and petal width are mostly useful feature to distinguish the iris flowers of different species. Okay, next we are going to cover the probability density function. So basically, probability density function is constructed by drawing a smooth curve fit through the vertically normalized histogram. So in most basic form, histograms are bins, and they have a frequency of the data points that fall within that bin. And if you want to calculate the probability of each bin, we can calculate it by dividing the frequency of each bin by the total number of data points that we have. So let's see, let's create a couple of probability density functions using KDE. So I'm using SNS dot factor facet grid function here, and passing the iris dataset, and hue is the species. Basically, the color is based on the species. Height of that particular graph is 5, and using in continuation with dot map, I'm passing SNS dot dist plot, that is distribution plot. I want to see the distribution of petal length. I'm adding legend here, dot add legend, and providing the title to this plot, and just displaying it using plt dot show. So if you see for petal length, this is the probability distribution function, and if we can see that yes, setosa is totally separate, and there is an overlap between versicolor and virginica. The same thing we have done for petal width. Uh, some overlap between versicolor and virginica, and sepal length there is a lot of overlap, and sepal width there is a lot of overlap. So again, we just concluding the same thing, that sepal length and sepal width are not good features to distinguish the different species of iris. So petal length and petal width are better features. Now another function is the cumulative distribution function. Basically, it's nothing but it's the sum of PDFs. So I'm just calculating the CDF using np.histogram. If we pass a given variable and we specify density equals to true, what we get is the histogram and the bin edges. And we can from histogram, basically it tells the frequency, or because in this case we are passing the density equals to true, so it provides the density values, and if we just divide each by the total sum, we get the PDF. And if we use np dot cumulative sum, then we can calculate the CDF. So, and if we plot these PDF and CDF for a given variable in the same plot, we get values like this, charts like this. So the advantage of plotting a CDF and a PDF in a same plot is that, let's say for example, if I want to just look at this red line, this is the cumulative density function, and this is the probability density function. So we can say if I just take this point 1.6, then I can go up to here, and if it cuts here, it means around 82 to 83% data points are there for setosa petal length, which are less than equal to 1.6. So in this way, we can clearly say what is the value that actually defines, okay, how many data points fall within that range. So that we can clearly find out with the help of a CDF. Similarly, I am creating a CDF and PDF for petal length of versicolor. So above was for Setosa, similarly for versicolor, and next one for the Virginica. Now, if you see that for this Setosa, uh, 1.9 was the value of the petal length by which almost all the data points were covered. Whereas if we go from for versicolor, it starts almost from 3 point something and goes up to 5 and slightly more than 5, yeah. So and for the Virginica, it starts lesser than 5 and goes up to 7. So it means that if we see that there is some overlap between 4.5 to 5 where we cannot clearly distinguish between Virginica and versicolor, but other than that we are able to clearly distinguish whether a given flower based on the just petal length belongs to Setosa or versicolor or Virginica. Then I'm doing the box plot between the petal length of the three species. So we can say, okay, the mean petal length is totally different of Setosa, and it is then higher for versicolor and more for Virginica. But there is some sort of overlap that we saw earlier. Similarly, I'm doing for the petal with the box plot between the three species. Except for some overlap, we can clearly see that there is a distinguish between there is a difference in the mean values between each of the species. Let's quickly find out the correlation between between the variables. So using dot corr method. So I'm just passing all the rows and all and the columns from sepal length to petal width, finding out the correlation. If you see, the highest correlation is between petal length and petal width, which is 0.96. Now I'm just simply we can say that okay, these two variables, these two features are the one which are correlated, and we also find that these are the ones which are able to clearly distinguish the data points. So taking these two, petal length and petal width, and coloring the data points based on the species, this is what we got. So we can see Setosa is clearly separable here, but and versicolor is the brown points, orange points that we are seeing here, and the green points are the Virginica. So except for the slight overlap, we can clearly distinguish between the three species based on the combination of petal length and petal width. So this is what we conclude that okay, these two are the important features to distinguish the three species of the iris flower. So that's it for this EDA session. Thank you.